Hello students, today I will discuss entity relationship model. Basically is a part of data model. Before make the actual database, we should make the ER diagram for make the graphical structure of database. So what is the definition of ER model? ER model is a type of data model. ER model based on the perception of real world that consists of entity and the relationship among these entities. The basic aim of ER model is to express the logical structure of database graphically with the help of ER diagram. So, we discuss the ER diagram basically because the ER diagram used to make the graphical structure of database, and in this ER diagram we talk about the entities that exist in the real world. So, what is the ER diagram? The ER diagram show the graphically representation of database, and the ER diagram consists of the following components: entity, attributes, keys and relationship. We discuss each components one by one. So, what is entity, what is attributes, what is keys and what is the relationship? Entities is any things or any object that exists in the real world. Attributes are the properties of this particular entities. Keys, any column or a set of columns by which we can uniquely identify any entity, and the relationship is the association among these entities. So, after the completion of the relationship, we make the ER diagram. So, first of all, what is entity? In the ER diagram, what is entity? Entity, this is anything or any object in the real world. For example, person is an entity, account is an entity, car is an entity, as well as student is an entity, because these objects exist in the real world. Now, what is entity set? The collection of entity which share the same properties called entity set, because here loan is a entity set, because the loan can be personal loan, home loan, education loan, and all these loan have the same property. What is a loan number, loan amount, branch name. So, this is a loan entity set. Similarly, student is an entity set because the student can be MTech student, BTech student or BCA student or any MBA students, and all these students have the same property: roll number, father name, mother name, enrollment number, etc. In the ER diagram, the entity set is represented by a rectangle. So, this entity set student is represented by a rectangle. Next, attributes. These are the most important property. Attributes is a property of any entity that is called attribute, or we can say it is a characteristics of any entity set. For example, roll number, name, age, class, to describe the attributes of any student. For example, the student, then student can have name, age, roll number, father name, mother name. These are the characteristics or attributes. In the ER diagram, the attributes is represented by the ellipse. For example, roll number, then it is attributes represented by ellipse, name is attribute represented by ellipse, age similarly, and class. Here we take just a simple example. Student is entity set that contain two attributes, name and age. And what is attribute domain? The set of allowable values for the one or more attributes is called domain. For example, for this attribute name, the value is Ram, and for the attributes age, the value is 20. Now, types of attributes. The attribute further can be classified different types of attributes. The basic attributes are simple and composite attributes, single valued or multi-valued attributes, derived attributes. We study one by one. Now, what is simple attributes? An attribute which is not divided into further attribute is called simple attributes. For example, student roll number, enrollment number. This contain only single value as well as it cannot be derived into further attributes. Now what is composite attributes, and which that attribute which can be divided or derived into further attribute is called composite attribute. For example, for the customer have attribute address. Now address can be derived into further attributes like address state, address converted into city, then colony, then flat number. But if we talk about the name of this customer, name of this customer, then customer name cannot be classified further because the customer have a single name, it can be further derived. So this is the composite attributes. Now what is single value attributes and what is multi value attributes? Single value attributes, an attribute that holds only a single value for each occurrence of entity type is called single value attributes. For example, student name, roll number, these attributes contain only single value because officially the student name cannot be more than one. Student contain only single name. Similarly, roll number contain only single. The attribute, the student contain only single roll number. It cannot be more than one. So this is the single value attribute. Now what is multi value attributes? An attribute that holds multiple values for each occurrence of any entity type is called multi value attributes. For example, telephone number or any contact number. Because any student or any customer or any person can have more than one contact number, and in the ER diagram this contact number or this type of attribute that contain more than one value is represented by double ellipse. So here telephone number is a multi-value attributes. This shows the multi-value attributes. In the AR diagram it is represented by double ellipse. So whenever we see double ellipse, we see that this is a multi-value attributes. So a telephone number is a multi-value attributes because each student contain more than one telephone number or contact numbers. Now what is derived attributes? An attributes whose value is coming from other attribute is called derived attributes. For example, age. Age can be calculated from the value of date of birth. If we know the date of birth, then we can calculate the age. In the ER diagram, this is represented by dashed ellipse. Sorry, dashed ellipse. Age is a derived attribute because it is calculated from student date of birth. So age is a derived attributes. Sorry. Now we study about the keys. A key allows us to identify a set of attributes that are sufficient to distinguish entity from each other. So basically, the aim of key is uniquely identify any multiple rows or multiple entities, because in any class more than one students can have more than one student have the same name. For example, this is the student entity set, and here attributes are student roll number, student name, student age. Student name, student roll number 1, 2, name again Ram, age can be also similar 2020. So how we uniquely identify in each row? Sorry, Ram, two students have same name. So for uniquely identify this entity, we use the roll number. The roll number is a key. The roll number is a key here. Now, types of keys: simple keys, composite keys, primary keys, super keys, candidate keys and foreign keys. And we know that key is a attributes or a set of attributes for uniquely identify any entity in the entity set. Now, we discuss what is simple key. It contains only a single attribute. For example, student roll number. In the entity set where only a single attribute for uniquely identify any entity, it is called simple key. Now, what is composite key? A candidate key that consists of two or more attributes, student name and student age. In entity set where keys consist of more than one attribute is called composite key. Now, what is candidate keys? The minimum set of attributes that uniquely identify each occurrence of entity type is called candidate key. So, the candidate key is a combination of again more than one attributes for uniquely identify any entity. For example, again if we take example, again if student roll number, student name and student enrollment number, then here student roll number, student enrollment number can be combination of candidate key because these are uniquely identify any entity in entity set. So, candidate key is a combination of two or more attributes. Now, next is a primary key. The primary key is a candidate key that is selected by the database designer and it is used for uniquely identify row or any tuple or any entity in the table. For example, if there is a student entity set that contain attributes name, roll number and address, then roll number is a primary key. So, we can say that the roll number is a primary key and is selected by the database designer. Now, what is the definition between primary key and the candidate key? In the table or in any entity set, more than one candidate key can be connected or can be exist, but the primary key only one or single can be exist. Now, what is super key? Super key is a set of attributes that uniquely identify row. So, how we identify the super key? If K is the super key, then entity set student name, roll number, enrollment number, these are the attributes. Then we convert these set into subset and we select the minimum subset for that so that we can uniquely identify any entity. The super key is a combination of two or more attributes. But what is the difference between super key and candidate key? In the super key, the repetition can be come or exist, but in the candidate key, the repetition attributes cannot be come. For example, here we see that if we take candidate key, then candidate key attributes, roll number or enrollment number. These are the attributes of candidate key, but the super key attributes are roll number, enrollment number, or it can be name or enrollment number. So, name is not a key value, but also can exist in the super key. Name can be repeat, but here roll number or enrollment number cannot be repeated. So, this is basic difference between super key and candidate key. In the candidate key, the attribute that exist cannot be repeat, but in the super key, the attributes are come can be repeat or cannot be a unique value. It can be any say similar values or it can be any attributes that contain the similar values. Now, foreign keys, that is a name, that is a foreign key, then the attributes which value come from the other attributes or other tables. the attributes or set of attributes that appear as a non-key attributes in one relation and as a primary key attribute in another relation is called foreign key. For example, customer is entity set and the loan is entity set. Here the account number is any key, but it is a primary key in this table and same key used in loan table. So that is called the foreign key for that table. So account number come from customer table to into the loan table. The foreign key is the account number. So here we can say that the account number is a primary key in the customer entity set, which is also a foreign key in the loan entity set. So again, what is the definition of foreign key? The key that is come as a primary key in the one table and that is come into the another table for uniquely identify any entity. Now, what is a strong and weak entity set? A strong entity set, an entity set that have sufficient attribute for define the primary key is called strong entity set. And what is weak entity set? Then entity set that have not sufficient attribute for define the primary key is called weak entity set. For example, this is called strong entity set, this is called weak entity set. Why? Because strong account number is a primary key for uniquely identify customer, but they in the loan table the branch, loan type and amount, these are not any keys, because branch name can be same, loan type can be same. Loan type is a for example personal loan, home loan can be same and amount can be same. So this is called weak entity set because there is no any primary key for uniquely identify the loan. Okay. In the ER diagram, the weak entity set is represented by double ellipse. So here loan is a weak entity set, where if we take single entity set or single rectangle, then it is called strong entity set. Now, the last topic is the relationship. The relationship basically it is the association among two or more entities. For example, the Atishu work in the pharmacy department. The relationship set, the collection of relationship which have the same property is called a relationship set. In the ER diagram, the relationship set is shown by the diamond. For example, if customer take the loan, then the what is the relation? That is called borrower. In the ER diagram, the relationship is shown by the diamonds. Here customer table and loan table, and the relation is the borrower. Now ER diagram, finally the what is ER diagram? Again, what is the definition of ER diagram? It is an entity relationship diagram that define the association among these entities. So customer is entity or is entity set, loan is entity or entity set, and borrower is a relationship among those two entities. So this is the ER diagram, and the ER diagram consists, again I say ER diagram consists of entity, keys, attributes and relationship. So here entity set, relationship, attributes, age, name, account number, phone number, DOB, loan number, branch name, amount, these are the attributes, and keys. Account number is a keys. If we take underline, then that is called primary key. Double ellipse, that is called multiple attributes. Dashes ellipse, that is called attributes because age is calculated from the date of birth. Loan number, again primary key, and the primary key is defined by the underline. So this is the finally ER diagram. Thank you so much.